Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
So, Scott, let's
Yeah.
get started with a very spoiler-free conversation about this Jurassic project. Can you tell me a kind of a timeline of when you initially became involved with this?
Let's see. I became involved, I want to say June of 2018. I had worked for Dreamworks many years ago, and then I spent a long time at Nickelodeon and had just come back to Dreamworks a few months before, and I never saw this coming. So lucky me.
And you had done with Dreamworks. Did you do Kung Fu Panda? I think
that was actually a Nickelodeon production.
Really?
Yes. Kung Fu Panda: Legends of Awesomeness was actually done at Nickelodeon, but with the DreamWorks obviously, and Jeffrey and everyone just sort of weighing in on what we were doing. So yeah, I did was the Nickelodeon for a long time, and then came over to DreamWorks to work on a different project called Cleopatra in Space, and did that for a few months, and then they called me upstairs and said, "What do you think about Jurassic?" And after I woke up, I went, "Is this true? Is this really happening?" That's kind of how it came about.
Now you're involved with this. This is season 2 that is getting ready to launch, correct?
Yes, we're just putting season 2 out now.
You were not involved with season 1, were you?
Oh no, I've been with this thing since the beginning.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And you are the writer, correct?
Well, I'm the showrunner. In season 1, I did co-write the first episode and wrote the season finale. But now it seems I'm doing I'm in the writers' room with the writers and everything, but not as able to write as much as before.
So, as a showrunner, it is such a showrunner is a title that many casual fans really aren't familiar with exactly what all that encompasses. So, as far as both seasons of Jurassic or Cretaceous, I only say Jurassic because I don't want to mispronounce it.
It's Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
Camp Cretaceous. That's the word. Okay. So Camp Cretaceous, as far as that goes, can you talk about, kind of give a quick little insight on what your contributions are as showrunner, other than writing?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just kind of overseeing everything, whether it's the writing or the designs or the storyboards. It's basically, my job is to put everybody on the crew in a position to succeed and then try to get out of the way. That's how I approach it anyway. So it's just deciding what goes in, what goes out, what's in the show, what isn't, and trying to support this team of really hardworking people and trying to put out the best show that we can.
And I'm assuming that you've probably been a fan of the franchise for a long time. So is this your first time getting to work with the people on the behind the scenes? I know that I think Steven Spielberg and Colin Trevorrow also are involved in this project.
Yeah, I actually, when I worked at DreamWorks the first time back in the late 90s, if you can believe it, there was a world back then. And so I had actually was a story editor, a head writer on a show called Steven Spielberg Presents Toonsylvania. So I had a couple meetings with Steven way back when, and then was exciting to get to kind of walk him through what we're doing on this show. But yeah, other than that, this is getting to meet Frank Marshall. I got to hear Frank Marshall tell stories from the set of Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was phenomenal. And Colin Trevorrow has been very involved It's been very generous with his time, whether it's, he's sat in the writer's room numerous times, and when it comes to story, or also he knows what's coming up. And so if we're heading into the wrong direction, or in some cases, if we're heading in too similar a direction, having him around sort of to course correct has been great. And at the end of the day, these are three amazing, storytellers, and just having them and their input and their trust has meant everything for the show.
So filmmaking is collaborative on every level. I'm curious if there's anyone specific that kind of you lent on to get this project started, or is this something that you kind of charged face forward into because you were so excited?
Well, I think all of it, like filmmaking is collaborative, animation is amazingly collaborative, because, you have writers and artists and effects and animation and lighting and production who keeps everything going. So that's part of the reason why I've worked in animation so long, is I love being part of this team. When I came aboard, Zach Stentz, who's got a ton of credits, but co-wrote Thor and X-Men First Class. This was his idea, this concept, and then I got to come in to sort of just work with Zach and assemble a team and getting this show and the pilot in good shape. And so yeah, it's been incredibly collaborative all the way through.
Awesome. Now I know that there's a huge universe of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic everything. Jurassic Island, I think, is coming up. And how much research did you have to do, or do you have to do on a regular basis when building Camp Cretaceous and the world that exists within?
Oh yeah, a ton of research. Whether it's going through the Universal, they have like detailed timelines and handbooks, and season 1 was kind of a companion piece to the film Jurassic World, so we were poring over that film. But yeah, in the writer's room, lots of maps of Isla Nublar. As an entire crew, we've watched all the Jurassic films. We'd had them on the server, and we would get together and watch them. Especially in the writers, we just this is the gospel. So yeah, we pour a lot of research and a lot of watch. It sounds so hard. Oh gosh, we had to watch all these dinosaur movies, Joe, but we did, and it was very important to us to stay within the canon of this universe.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.